Hello everyone, it's Todd Scrima. I'm recording this, it's March 2014. And one of the things that I've done in my career is I'm always analyzing what makes a great company, what do they really do? And here's one way of explaining it. I believe that there's 6 major skills that a company has to focus on in order to be great. Okay, and if any of these aren't operating at a high level, you're not going to build something great. Okay, so the first one is vision. You know, we've got our 50-10-10 vision, but vision is where are we going, how are we going to get there, and what's my part? So everyone's got to know what their part is, okay? There's a lot of people in companies, I'll ask them and I'll say, you know, what are you guys trying to do? And they're like, I don't really know, okay? That's because they have no vision. The ownership or the management or whoever's in charge is not giving that person a vision. Super, super important. Number 2, data-driven. 100% of your decisions are driven through data. A lot of times I'll get involved in a loan file and someone will say, hey, this loan's going to close later or whatever. The first thing I do is look at the data. I'm looking at when was the app taken? When was it disclosed? When was it turned into processing? When did processing get it to underwriting? How long did underwriting have it? How many conditions did we have? I'm looking at the data, granular data, to try and figure out what's the problem here, okay? You know, it's like sales calls. We metric sales calls, and a lot of salespeople hate it. But we're like, hey, you got to have 15 face-to-faces. You got to track your data because it should drive your decision-making. Third is systems. Think of it like this. A system is anything that happens all the time on a regular basis. Another way of thinking about this is most of our job is clearly documented, but when someone needs help, you know, they can come after you for help and say, hey, I need some help knowing how to do this. I think with systems, what you have to be careful of in a company is becoming bureaucratic. It should be entrepreneurial and it should be structured, but it shouldn't be micromanaged, okay? The fourth one is traction. Traction is like a tractor gripping the dirt, okay? You know you've got traction because every person on the team is 100% accountable for what they're doing. When you start hearing excuses from people, you don't have traction in the company. When you start hearing blame in a company, you don't have traction, okay? Fifth one is issue resolution, one of my favorites. So you got a problem comes up. What do you do? What I want you to do is look at it and say, why did this happen? What was the cause? How do I fix it short term right away? And then long term, how do I put a structure or a system or a checklist in place to where it never happens again, or at least it gets drastically minimized? That is how you resolve issues. What most people want to do with issue resolution is, not me, it's him, the underwriter, the appraiser, right? No, that's not going to get you anywhere. You're just going to continue to run a company that doesn't run well, okay? The last thing, one of the most important, is the people, okay? They have clear job descriptions and they're A players. Clear job descriptions, they know what their job is and they know how to execute. Now, I hate to say this and be so bold on a video, but about 10% of worker bees in America are great A players. 10%. Listen, think of your family. Everyone think of your family right now. How many, like, you pretty much know which family members are like the bomb employees and which ones are like, oh my God, I bet you her company hates her, okay? I'm telling you, we know. Listen, my mom was a nurse for 38 years or whatever it was for a hospital. Every time I went to visit her at the hospital, everyone knows my mom. Everyone loves my mom. All the doctors love my mom because she was an A player. She gave great care. She cared about the patient. She was happy. I mean, all these things happen, okay? Because she was an A player. But listen, there's a lot of people not A players at that hospital. Okay, so you got to have A players. Guys, I went through 6 things: vision, data, systems, traction, issue resolution, and people. There's a visual aid that goes through this. I just want you to think about our business in those terms, and we will make a ton of progress. And what we're going to end up doing, guys, is ultimately fulfilling our vision, which is becoming a great, well-run company that people will write books about. Thanks for listening, guys. Make it a great day.